Space exploration is at a crossroads. NASA, once the unrivaled titan of space travel, is changing. Faced with shrinking budgets and mounting criticism, the agency is charting a new course. This new direction relies heavily on partnerships with private companies. For decades, NASA has been synonymous with ambitious government-led missions. The Apollo moon landing, the Space Shuttle program, and the Hubble Space Telescope are all testaments to its legacy. Today, however, NASA is increasingly turning to commercial partners like SpaceX and Blue Origin to shoulder the costs and risks of spaceflight. NASA's new administrator, Jared Isaacman, is a vocal proponent of this approach. A billionaire entrepreneur and accomplished pilot, Isaacman embodies the spirit of private spaceflight. The question is, can NASA successfully navigate this transition and maintain its position as a global leader in space exploration? NASA's shift towards privatization is inextricably linked to its ongoing battle with budget cuts. The agency, once flush with funding during the space race, has seen its budget steadily dwindle over the decades. The White House's proposed budget for 2026 delivers another blow, slashing NASA's funding by a staggering 24.3%. This reduction from $24.8 billion to $18.8 billion has sent shockwaves through the agency and the wider scientific community. Particularly hard hit are the Earth and Space Science divisions, facing cuts of $1.2 billion and $2.3 billion respectively. These cuts represent more than just numbers on a balance sheet. They represent lost opportunities, unrealized discoveries, and a shrinking of our understanding of the cosmos. For an agency built on pushing the boundaries of human knowledge, the impact of these cuts is nothing short of devastating. The dream of humans walking on Mars, once a beacon of hope and inspiration, seems to be fading into the realm of science fiction. Enter SpaceX, the brainchild of Elon Musk. This private company has taken the space industry by storm, achieving feats once thought impossible for any entity but NASA. With reusable rockets and ambitious plans for Mars colonization, SpaceX has become a symbol of innovation and a potential lifeline for a cash-strapped NASA. SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket has already proven its reliability, ferrying astronauts and cargo to the International Space Station. This success has emboldened NASA to entrust SpaceX with even greater responsibility, including a crucial role in the Artemis program, the agency's ambitious plan to return humans to the moon. But this reliance on SpaceX is not without its critics. Some argue that it gives too much power to a single company, potentially stifling competition and innovation in the private space sector. Despite these concerns, the partnership between NASA and SpaceX is a sign of the times. The future of space exploration will be shaped by the interplay between government agencies and private enterprise. The Artemis program, once heralded as the next giant leap for humankind, now stands as a shadow of its former self. The dream of a sustained human presence on the moon, of lunar bases and scientific outposts, has been sacrificed at the altar of budgetary constraints. The iconic Space Launch System, SLS rocket, plagued by delays and cost overruns, will be retired after just 3 missions. The Orion spacecraft, designed to ferry astronauts to lunar orbit, will meet a similar fate. Even the Lunar Gateway, a planned space station in lunar orbit intended to serve as a staging ground for lunar surface missions, has been scrapped. Instead, NASA is pinning its hopes on commercial partners like SpaceX. The agency plans to leverage SpaceX's Starship, a fully reusable spacecraft still under development, for future lunar missions. While Starship holds promise, it is a risky bet. The dream of humans living and working on the moon may not be dead, but it has certainly been deferred. Mars, the red planet, has long captivated the human imagination. For decades, it has been the ultimate destination for space enthusiasts, the holy grail of space exploration. But with NASA facing a financial crisis, the dream of sending humans to Mars may be slipping out of reach. The Mars Sample Return mission, a top priority for planetary scientists, is on the chopping block. This ambitious endeavor, which aimed to bring Martian rock and soil samples back to Earth for analysis, has fallen victim to spiraling costs. The mission, once seen as a stepping stone to a human mission to Mars, is now a casualty of NASA's shrinking budget. The samples, carefully collected by the Perseverance rover, hold the keys to unlocking Mars's secrets. Without these samples, our understanding of Mars will remain incomplete. The dream of sending humans to Mars, once a tangible goal, now seems like a distant prospect. As NASA grapples with budget cuts and shifts its focus towards commercial partnerships, a more pressing crisis looms: climate change. Ironically, at a time when our planet is experiencing the most dramatic environmental changes in human history, NASA's Earth science programs are facing the axe. The proposed budget eliminates funding for crucial climate monitoring satellites. These satellites provide vital data on a range of environmental factors, from rising sea levels to deforestation rates. This data is essential for understanding the complex dynamics of climate change and developing effective mitigation strategies. The decision to cut funding for climate research is short-sighted and dangerous. It sends a clear message that the current administration prioritizes short-term gains over the long-term health of our planet. The cancellation of climate monitoring missions will have far-reaching consequences. It is a stark reminder that even as we reach for the stars, we must not lose sight of the fragility of our own world. The International Space Station, a symbol of international cooperation and scientific endeavor, is facing an uncertain future. As NASA prepares to transition to commercial space stations by 2030, the agency has proposed a $500 million reduction in ISS spending. This reduction in funding will have a significant impact on the station's operations. It will lead to a reduction in crew size, limiting the amount of scientific research that can be conducted. The cuts will also affect the station's maintenance and upkeep, potentially shortening its lifespan. The ISS has been a remarkable achievement, a testament to what humanity can achieve when nations work together towards a common goal. However, after more than 2 decades in orbit, the station is showing its age. Private companies are developing their own orbital outposts, offering new opportunities for research and exploration. However, these commercial stations are unlikely to replicate the same level of international cooperation and scientific openness that has characterized the ISS. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory, NASA's crown jewel, and the birthplace of countless robotic missions, is undergoing a period of turbulence. The departure of JPL Director Lori Leshin in June 2025, amidst budget cuts and layoffs, has sent shockwaves through the institution. Leshin, a respected scientist and leader, stepped down for personal reasons after a relatively short tenure. Her departure comes at a critical juncture for JPL, as the laboratory grapples with the implications of NASA's changing priorities and shrinking budget. David Gallagher, a seasoned NASA veteran, has been appointed as JPL's new director. Gallagher faces the daunting task of steering JPL through a period of uncertainty and change. He must balance the laboratory's legacy of scientific excellence with the need to adapt to a new era of space exploration. The upheaval at JPL is a microcosm of the challenges facing NASA as a whole. The decisions made in the coming years will determine the future of space exploration for generations to come. NASA stands at a precipice. The agency's legacy of groundbreaking discoveries, daring missions, and inspiring achievements is facing an unprecedented challenge. Budget cuts, shifting priorities, and the rise of commercial spaceflight have cast a long shadow over the future of space exploration. The path ahead is fraught with uncertainty. Can NASA adapt to its new reality and continue to inspire future generations with bold missions and groundbreaking discoveries? Or will the agency's legacy fade, a victim of changing political winds and budgetary constraints? Space exploration has always been a reflection of our national spirit, our thirst for knowledge, and our desire to push the boundaries of human ingenuity. If we are to continue to explore the cosmos, to unlock the secrets of the universe, and to inspire future generations, we must reaffirm our commitment to space exploration. We must demand that our leaders invest in NASA and provide the agency with the resources it needs to succeed. The future of space exploration, and perhaps the future of humanity itself, depends on the choices we make today.